the Howling Abyss.
All right, so the Brazilian raid bus has been unleashed on the Howling Abyss. Yang heading out here. Monster at Worlds. Completely destroyed many of his opponents. Helior, not to sniff at either. We've seen how well he did yesterday. He is a very competent top laner in his own right, one of the powerhouses of his own team. But my money, at least for now, will be on Yang. But in terms of who is best to send up there, LAS sending up Helior, probably the best on the lineup outside of Wara, I would say.
Yeah. I quite like this. I'm excited because Yang sort of voted in from INTZ, the team that did go to Worlds. This guy's got a lot of experience. Revolta, you heard him talking in that feature earlier on, saying that Yang is their player that they have the most faith in. And now Brazil have the opportunity to make it 2-1 in this fire versus ice battle. Yet another nail in the coffin of Team Ice. We could be coming out of day 2 with no opportunity for Ice to be able to make it. Latin America South really need to try and help us get amongst it.
Trying to think what the picks will be here, as they are both top laners, so actually very well suited to the 1v1 climate.
Exactly right. But Tahm Kench and Urgot have been taken away immediately. I do like it. Please get rid of... What was the other one? Nasus needs to go. Caitlyn, of course, another opportunity. Rengar's going to leave instead, on the side of Yang. Maybe he considers himself the better Susan.
Maybe. Oh man, if we get a Susan matchup, a Susan mirror.
Oh god, a Susan off.
I'd probably just leave, come back in like 10 minutes, have a tea, have a coffee.
I think so too.
And nothing would have happened.
Oh god. Well, actually, someone would have won, and it would have been whoever kills the last minion first.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, the battle of the being able to last it. Syndra is going to leave. Helior, please God, please do it.
Okay,
just
so
ban the Nasus.
Respect over Tim.
There it is.
There it
Thank
is.
goodness.
Right,
we can
still
stay.
Open, so there's still some anti-fun on the table here, Atlas, but I have faith that these top laners will bring the thunder, bring the hype.
Oh, Helior.
Is that locked in?
Is that locked in? I think it's locked
in against the Orianna.
Are these guys top laners? Or are they mid laners?
We don't know. Cass went through a small phase of being a top laner. There was also the fantastic cheese when Grump buff was still a thing, where you would smite Grump.
God,
and then if your opponent didn't notice and they auto-attacked you, they just died.
Yeah,
because you twin find them to death. Yeah. So maybe he's got mechanics since then.
I remember those 2 days after that was first discovered where people didn't know.
Incredible.
It was disgusting.
It was the 1v1 tactic.
That was a horrible time. That was a time where you wouldn't want to have that one game in the evening that you had the opportunity for.
Because that guy is playing against you.
Yeah, even if you were the Ignite Ghost Darius, you'd still be having
You'd probably lose,
yeah, exactly right. And he was the one that probably would auto-attack you. But let's bring it back to this particular match, because Cassiopeia versus Orianna is an interesting one, because both of these guys have a lot of sustained damage, and we could see them just try and fight it out rather early on, because Command Attack, relatively low cooldown, Clockwork Wind-Up, very, very good, and Twin Fang as well, and something that you can spam relatively quickly now with this iteration of Cassiopeia.
So Frosk was talking about the Orianna into like Nasus matchup earlier, and how he would actually be good against the Nasus, being able to zone him away with the creeps, actually getting priority on that. But in a ranged matchup in the 1v1, Cass probably rises in priority just from knowing how mid lane matchups work. I'm not sure that the Orianna can just equalize and stabilize enough where the Cassiopeia just kind of takes over. So it could be a little risky. We'll have to see, because Orianna is still a very neutralizing matchup. So there's a chance that Helior just plays a really good game. And both players have gone for Ignite Exhaust. So we could see some of that fun all-in action.
I'm hoping for it. I am ready. Could be just like level 2. Let's do it. And do you think that, what do you think the best option to take first here for Helior is? Because a lot of, I guess, mid lane Oriannas in that sort of isolated 1v1 at the very beginning of a Summoner's Rift game would take that Command Protect, so you can trade with those auto attacks and not worry about the minion damage. Is that still probably the best option here, or do you want the ball for the zoning?
I think he might go Protect just because he's gone Doran's Blade, so he'll get in range for the auto attacks, give himself some more resistances if he gets hit by Yang. He may just have gone for the Q anyway to get the reveal on the bush, but as Yang is already hitting minions, it doesn't matter. There's the Command Protect. So since he's going for the auto attacks as his main source of sustain damage, then it makes more sense to put that level 1 in there and try and hit Yang, last hit these minions. You can see both laners, actually this is one of the first times we've seen it, where both laners are trying to challenge for that level 2 punish. And it's slightly over to Helior. He gets the auto attack and Grasp of the Undying.
Grasp of the Undying, okay,
Helior gets level 2 here.
I thought I never would see the day as Yang is going to pick up that level 2 first, but Helior very quickly behind him. And now going to start zoning. That command attack is going to be there now. Yeah. Does have that whip crack with his ball.
So
Dissonance actually taken instead. He just wants to carry the ball around. Doesn't want to let it go.
That's actually funny for that level too, because Helior had the advantage over the minion wave, so Yang instinctively backed away, but then Yang just had a minion in front of him. So they both hit level 2, and as a result, nothing really happens. But because of the pressure that Helior had and was able to exert, he just had the slight minion advantage. Nothing to write home about just yet, but something to keep in mind. And he also is winning out in terms of mana.
Going to get a bit of that back as he picks up the health pack. Level 3 now gained by both of these players. All of the spells in the book now collected by both. There, Helior gets himself the shield back, but still losing out on this trade. That is so much health the Yang has over Helior, even with that Grasp of the Undying being taken.
Yeah, if Helior wants to go for auto-attack trades, he has to not get hit by Noxious Blast, because if he does the extra poison damage from Twin Fang, Yang automatically wins every single time. He's very low on health and mana, or rather mana, but it didn't matter. He was still going to win that trade, and Helior, you could see, he was just like, I just want to stay in combat long enough to hit you with my Grasp of the Undying. Okay, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. But at the moment, still winning out as far as the farm is concerned. The Oriana, of course, known for her ability to farm in general, but now with a little bit of extra AD, it's the dream. It's the dream farming scenario. Helior still playing very, very up and aggressive. Knows that he has that extra mana.
He has to, because if he does not, then Cassiopeia just simply takes over the lane. He knows that Yang also has the health part advantage over him. He has that biscuit to nom down on, so needs to be aware of that and is pushing out the wave. If he can actually get control over the health relic as well, then that would be good, because it is just spawning.
Oh, steals it away. Nicely done. Miasma is there, of course. Doesn't really matter here for Helior. He's just going to turn around. Yang uses all of his mana. Helior knows that he can now take advantage of the situation.
Burns the pot, which is real big for Helior. So he has evened up the playing field and also has the minion advantage still. And he's able to continue the pressure. So despite Yang winning out on those 1v1 trades, Helior and just his kind of manipulation of how the minion waves have worked has netted him the advantage in this 1v1 matchup. Yang is forced to stay in because the minion wave is mounting in front of him. This is like a wave and a half that he just simply can't risk missing out on.
Well, Helior's just going to continue to farm these minions out very, very effectively. He's going to be 12 in the lead. These minions should fall to Yang relatively effectively. Cassiopeia known for her ability to control what happens underneath the wave. Noxious Blast going to help grab that minion. Misses 1, misses 2. That is absolutely fine. Only 7 CS now between these two. Helior with the first back and grabs the Spectre's Cowl.
Yeah, biggest thing there was that Yang stayed around for the experience, because he does not want Helior to have a massive window where he could just get comboed down by the ultimate, so he needs to have his instant response. And he's gone for the double Sapphire Crystal. So
I think I'm going to throw out there that that is the worst buy I have ever seen.
He's going in for the long game, Atlas. He doesn't want to go back for a while. He wants to try and stay in lane and try and grind Helior down.
Couldn't he have bought a tier?
He could have done. That would have been an alternative.
I'm really perplexed as to what he's going for there, as Helior just taking no damage now from these Twin Fangs. Doesn't necessarily want to be walking on that Miasma, but it is absolutely fine. Going to continue wandering around. The Spectre's Cowl probably giving him more health back from the mediocre damage that the Miasma does do.
So Yang is able to push back now. Helior does have that level 6, but is matched by Yang because he stayed in. Does land the Q, which means he can follow up with a trade that is better for Yang. So this is starting to mount up, because Helior, it's harder for him just to run all over Yang now that he has the threat of Yang just hitting the Petrifying Gaze.
Oh, and actually, I do understand the Sapphire Crystal.
All right, lay it on me, Atlas.
Okay, so basically what Yang has realized is that he wants to go for one bout against the Oriana here. He wants to be able to try and keep his mana as high as possible. You saw that he was just going as far in as possible. So just create a large mana pool so that in these isolated scenarios, you're just going to have more in the tank and don't focus necessarily on things like stacking it up or getting that regen. He wants to win quickly, in other words. That's where the buy makes sense. Otherwise, I hate it.
Well, between us, we probably make up part of an analyst, so I'm sure the analyst desk can help us out with that one, but this 1v1 trade is starting to heat up.
Yeah, very, very nice. Good poison to land here onto Helior from Yang, but the exhaust comes in. Helior's trying to fight that one back. The extra health that Helior has, you can see it's paying dividends. So Yang has to back away, and that mana that we were talking about, no regen, just the flat mana. He doesn't have too many of those trades in him.
All right, so really well played by Yang there in that last trade. As soon as the exhaust was popped, instantly back away. Get out of the Oriana range because she hasn't skilled Q. She's auto-attacking, and it's all about the auto-attacks for Helior. So with that being the case, you're not going to get slowed down by Dissonance, and Helior will not be able to chase you down. So he now has the Summoner spell advantage, and Yang is in a good place.
That is a really interesting tactic. As the Poison once again going to land, but a good command protect that it looks like Helior is maxing due to the fact that base level of shield is super high.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate he's leaning against the Cassiopeia, because against pretty much any other matchup, he should just be able to dunce them with the Clockwork wind-up damage and the extra resistances. That was the idea. But going up against the Cassiopeia, who, if she hits Poison on you, followed by the Twin Fangs, will out-trade you in a sustained battle. You saw Helior pop his ultimate there. It's just like, hi, he sombreroed himself. Actually, he was just trying to clear out the minion wave to try and match that from Yang, try and push it into tower, and then get the minion wave advantage. Yang, reading this and seeing that happen, stays in lane to push the next wave.
Yeah, I thought it was just hula hoop practice.
It could have been that too.
He's gone home. Got to get that practice in when you can. Because hula hooping is all about consistently going for it, you know? You can't really half-ass hula hooping. Now Yang is going to battle everything. Oh, misses the ultimate, but still doing so much damage. Good shield, as Helior's going to let that eat up all of the ignite. But he's down to about 200 health. Now Yang has to go back, and those summoner spells are going to be for naught. Sorry, summoner spell. Just the ignite goes down. The exhaust still there.
Helior's in a rough spot now. Like, if he gets caught by anything, he's probably dead from Yang's harass.
Speaking of which, needs one more Twin Fang. There's the ultimate GG! Fantastic play, and that is going to be it. Brazil up 2-1 now. Fire once again reigning supreme. Oh my goodness, only 2 more members of LAS to hold on to all of the hopes of Team